I love starting the day off with some deep thoughts. I was taking a walk and I like to go visit the cows if I can, if they're around in the morning. And I always wave at them and I let them know it's me just in case they can't tell it's me, which I'm sure they can because I always look up when I'm around or they'll start to come over to me. But I'm always afraid they're going to forget me, you know? Not afraid, like, oh, I'm so scared, but more like, you know, I have to remind them, and that's all in here. Anyways, I was walking back, and the sun was like kind of up and behind me because it was still in the morning, and I was looking at my shadow as I was walking. It was like, it's so funny how from the time we come here, and I've made many videos like this about it, but it's like I'm retouching it and the perception of it. But we are always directed outwards. And the only time we're directed towards our actual visual appearance is when we look in the mirror. And it's usually to superficially build ourselves up, right? So we fix our hair, we put our makeup on, we put skincare products. It's all superficial. It's for superficial reasons. Some people could say, well, no, I just want to take care of my body, blah, blah, blah. But it's still superficial because you may need to maintain and care for your body. But what is the actual intent behind it so that you can look good, feel good, um, keep your body as young looking as possible for as long as you can. You know, it's not really because you truly care most of the time. I would say the majority of the time, if not all, because we are so controlled to believe this through everything that we are. So when I was walking and I was looking at my shadow, it was like, if I saw myself, would I sit there and wave like I do to the cows? Would I talk to me? Would I sit there and make little clicking noises and talk to them like they're the best thing ever? Because that's how I talk to the cows, like they're so amazing. If I saw myself, would I do that? Like, if I had that separation and here was me, no connection in that way, in the connection of me looking through my perception, I don't know. Probably not. Because I'm not a big fan of humans. I don't care for even the way the human form really looks most of the time. I've been pretty detached from that. I'm more connected to a connection. But I find that connection is so different, because for one, animals are not interacting with us constantly. Well, unless you have that kind of situation set up. I don't. Not to mention, animals are like, their communication is so minimal with us. If I had a parrot, I may not be as emotionally connected, I guess, or feel like there was something special there because it would be talking to me. It would be saying things to me. I think verbal communication has a tendency of screwing things up for connection because if somebody says stuff that you don't like, that puts a barrier up. You can feel that energetically too, but for some reason you don't. I'm not around the cows 24/7, so I'm not like living in their little group and dealing with, cow procreation and stuff like that. So I'm not a cow, in other words. So I don't have that kind of perception of a cow. But I do have that perception of a human and all the interactions that go on with humans. So therefore, I find it harder to appreciate myself. Alien, human, God, goddess, whatever I'm being at the moment. I don't have that connection with myself because I know what we're like. And there's so many things about us that are unappealing. So, it's also the fact that we're not connected from the time we're young to really care for ourselves. So we don't even know what that kind of world really looks like. Because it seems like even when people are like genuinely trying to do the right thing and trying to really care for themselves, something always comes up at some point, and you have to deal with other people. So my thing is, if we lived in an environment that was super healthy and kids were raised in that environment, would the human condition be part of our experience like it is here right now? And I would say we don't know. We don't know in this reality, this perception, because we haven't experienced any of it. We haven't even gotten close to it. We don't know anything about that. Like generations and generations of that kind of perception and lifestyle does not exist anywhere. Now, you could say there are groups of people that get close to it, but the outside world is so much different, and it does play a role in every aspect of creation, even if it's just energetic. So you could try to isolate yourself as much as you want, but it's going to energetically have an effect on you in some way.